Hello there. If you're watching this video, chances are it's for one of two main reasons. The first reason is because you love my face and you are likely a relative of mine who probably doesn't understand what this video is going to be about. The second reason, and probably the more true reason I hope, is because you saw the title, which wasn't made by ChatGPT, and you said to yourself, I do want to understand why 97% of people aren't buying from me on social media. Well, in today's video, we're going to break this down using two simple diagrams that are going to help you to understand the psychology behind why is it that this happens, and ultimately how we can fix it for ourselves as business owners. So here we go. So first and foremost, let's do something fun. Let's grab our phones, okay? And let's head to any one of our social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is that it may be. If you look at your feed on social media, you recognize that all of these different platforms have an algorithm which creates content which is tailor-made to you. What does this do to the psychology of someone who's using the platform? Well, it makes them understand that I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do any searching. It just naturally comes to me. So what this does is that it makes this effect of putting the person who uses their social media not in the driver's seat, but rather almost like in a movie theater where they're just watching whatever the algorithm puts right in front of their face. So what this does to a buyer, right, is that it doesn't really incentivize them to go and look for the person who has their solution, which is you. So now what we have to do as the person who sells the service is that we have to get ourselves in front of this individual. And this is one of the challenges that we face, okay? What happens then, let's just say, right, that when we get this person in front of us, how is it that we're able to convert this person even though we're doing all of the right things per se? Well, here's exactly the first thing that you need to understand as a business owner who creates content on social media. This concept right here is called the buyer's triangle, okay? And the buyer's triangle, simply stated, breaks down the psychology of an individual who comes to your page. Let's just say at any given moment, 100 people come onto your social media page. Congratulations, you did something right. Okay, now of those 100 people, okay, what the buyer's triangle says is that 30 of them know they aren't interested. Okay, you ever walk into a store and know that you are interested, but you're just kind of curious, so you walked in and you're looking around, right? 30 of those people are 30 of those people are some of the people who came in from those 100 people. The next 30 people are people who don't think that they're interested, right? You could still walk into a store and you don't think that you're interested, but you still want to peruse the aisle. You still want to browse and see what they have available. The next 30 people are not really thinking about buying anything from you. They just came in because maybe they saw something that intrigued them, or maybe they were just a little curious, or maybe you had a really nice sign outside of the store, okay? The next 7% of people are open to buying, okay? And the last 3% are coming in with the decision that they want to buy something, all right? So for every 100 people that come to our page on social media, 97% of them, statistically speaking, are not looking to buy from us. Okay, so now as a business owner, you're thinking to yourself, well, damn, how do I change that number? Well, it's really, really simple. We can understand how we can change this and how we can influence this through looking at this diagram right here called curiosity to commitment. Okay, somebody who comes in who knows that they aren't interested, and somebody who is coming in and wants to buy, there's a fundamental difference between the two of them. The person who knows that they are interested and the person who is buying, they've both made a decision, all right? How we can influence the decision that they make is by creating more content that nurtures them, okay? Fundamentally speaking, every single person consumes content differently. Some people, for example, love to read the newspaper. Some people love to read blogs. Some people love to watch YouTube videos. Some people love to listen to podcasts. Other people love to read. What this tells us is that there is different forms of social media or media consumption in the first place. So the person or the brand who succeeds on social media is the one that utilizes this concept for their own advantage. Okay? First, what happens is we need to figure out a way to bring people into our store, right? The way we go about doing this is by creating content which is general, overarching, and would attract the masses. So what this looks like in more practical terms is by creating reels, right? Creating carousels, creating posts that are more likely to reach more people. Reels are shown to people who are mostly outside of your audience. And there's a new feature that you should be utilizing as a business owner called trial reels, which will actually exclusively show your reels to people who are not in your audience. So this is the first step from curiosity to commitment, is creating content which inspires people to say, hey, I'm a little curious in what you do, okay? Next, let's take it a level deeper, right? Because you probably have a lot of these people already in your audience. If you do, you're doing something right. Now, let's go to the second level where we want to build on their existing curiosity, right? So how is it that we do that? Well, we let them raise their hand, okay? If you have a very good understanding of who it is that you're creating content for, you should know their triggers. You should know their beliefs. You should know what is it that they want to solve, right? What is the solution that they're looking for? What is it that they want versus what is it that they actually need, right? And what you then do is you create a way for them to express that need through an offer that you have. So for example, let's say I'm a relationship coach, right? And I made a really good piece of content, it popped off, it brought in a lot of people to the page, right? However, I'm struggling to get these people to fill out an application and sign up for a discovery call. Well, here's what I would do. I would create some sort of way that these people could experience my teaching or my wisdom or my experience in general via some sort of a challenge or via some sort of longer form content that they can consume, which would then bridge the gap from them not trusting me to them actually trusting me. So for example, I'd host a challenge. I'd say, hey, I'm hosting a 7-day Manifest Your Dream Partner challenge. If you're interested, just drop your email here below and let's get to it, right? Now what's happening is you're moving somebody from your Instagram page, which people would even argue that that's not even your real audience, it's a rented audience, to now what's your actual owned audience, like an email list, right? This person just went from hitting the follow button to now giving you their contact information. Huge difference, right? From going from knowing they aren't interested to they don't think that they're interested, but they may be curious, right? So this is already a big step. In the last phase, that is when you want to focus on giving them a call to action. After you've been doing this for a while, creating good content that brings in a majority of people, and then building on those people who have come in by giving them something for them to raise their hands to, right? A challenge, a webinar, a YouTube video, whatever it is that it may be, right? A free group, okay? Periodically, you should be making an offer that will allow this person the opportunity to go from not thinking about it to open to buying, all right? And if you cycle through this consistently, right? You inspire, you build, you invite, you inspire, you build, you invite, you inspire, you build, you invite. What'll start to happen is that 97% of people who naturally won't buy from you will start to become more like 96. Will start to become more like 95. Will start to become more like 94, 93, 92, 90. And imagine a percentage difference of 3% of people buying versus 7 or 10% of people buying that come into your page. Your business would double, triple, if not quadruple. So this principle right here is what you need to understand if you are a business owner, an online coach who is creating content online. For every 100 people that come in, not everybody will buy, but it's your job to nurture those people to where buying becomes a decision that is closer and closer with every piece of content, with every challenge, with every story, with every free group that you put out. It becomes more and more easy for them to say, hey, this guy is my solution. So if you enjoyed that video, click on one of these videos over here. I'm going to link that. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe too, because I know that you want to see more of my handsome face, or that's at least the lie that I'm telling myself. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.